hang in there, but you know that you've messed up.
Let's talk about Vettel and Ferrari. I mean, 2 weeks at Silverstone, two incredibly difficult races, and pretty much every session was incredibly difficult. And I just wanted to bring this up because somebody in the comments brought it up in the Verstappen video. Personally, I think that this divorce or breakup between Ferrari and Vettel is just going to get so ugly. I think it's already there right now with this thing that we're seeing on team radio. Vettel not even wanting to reply after the race, and then him basically calling out the team over the radio, telling them they messed up, bringing him in and then ahead of traffic. But what do you think? What's going to happen with him? First of all, do you think that he's going to last the entire season? Do you think he's just going to cut ties in the middle of the season and say, I'm done for now, and then I'll be back next year with Racing Point? Or do you think that he'll tough it out, but it's just going to get really, really messy?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if he steps away and says, you know what, I'm done dealing with that BS for this year. It's been a wild year, and who knows who they bring up? Do they bring up Mick Schumacher? He's been performing pretty decent. Robert Schwartzman, they have in F2. He's been a very good racer as well. He's a Ferrari Academy driver. There's a lot of good Ferrari Academy drivers in F2 right now that they could bring up and kind of test out. Or they bring up Giovinazzi or Raikkonen. You know, it could be one of those things as well. But for me personally, I see Vettel staying the rest of the year. He's a 4-time world champion. I don't see him giving up. At the same time, Ferrari are, I think, doing him a pretty wrong here. I mean, he's suffered through a lot of years trying to win a championship with Ferrari. He's come close, but hasn't been able to pull it off. And then it just seems like they're no, I don't want to say doing it on purpose, because I don't think Ferrari would throw away points or anything like that, money on purpose, but
Yeah.
Everything's always happening to Vettel's car. I mean, I don't get what it is that everything wrong is happening to Vettel. All the strategy calls, parts flying off on him. I mean, it's like the whole team's given up on him, and it's pretty disappointing to see from Ferrari because Vettel's put a lot of time and effort into trying to make them a championship team, and it didn't work out, unfortunately. Sometimes that happens. But I think they should have at least tried to figure out what's going on with him, because he's having an awful season, and I don't think it's his fault at all.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think he's been shafted by Ferrari with them not even offering a contract and pretty much giving the keys to the team to Leclerc before he was even established. Not that Leclerc, isn't obviously the future team leader, but I just think that it's like you said, the fact that he came into Ferrari and the amount of love that he has for Ferrari, you can just tell that this guy, literally bled red for the past 5-6 seasons, however many it's been. So for him to go to that effort and to basically try and will Ferrari back into championship contention, which he did for 2 seasons, along with, other members of the team as well, and for it to just end like this, it's just sad. It really is at the end of the day. There's nothing else to say, whether you're a fan of Ferrari or Vettel or not. It's just really sad to see, because we know how much he loved this team, and we know how much of a connection he had to his childhood hero, Michael Schumacher, and him wanting to emulate that. And like you said, it didn't work out, obviously because of mistakes he made, mistakes that the team made. But at the end of the day, I think that he was content and he accepted the fact that it wasn't going to happen. But whether he's going to admit it or not, I feel like this will hurt him, the way that this ended. Because even with Michael, when he finished his career at Ferrari, yeah, they didn't contend for championships the year he retired from Ferrari, but they still were able to get some podiums, a win or two, and it was a very positive send-off. So I think that Vettel deserved a send-off like that from Ferrari. And I don't know what's going on with the car, but it just doesn't seem like it's working for him at all. I agree with you. I don't think they're doing anything to intentionally sabotage him or ruin the car, but I don't think they're doing anything to help him gain his confidence back, because he's got none right now in the car. You did the analysis after the first race in Austria about how ugly the car looked to drive in some corners. So somebody in the comments was saying, possibly could he go back to AlphaTauri for the rest of the season, and then Kvyat moves up because he was a test driver for Ferrari as well. So I'm with you. I don't think that he's going to stop, because I think he's a professional, and I think that he owes that much to himself to just see out the last couple of seasons and try and do something to go out on top and go out respectfully. But if he were to, let's say, just break the relationship off in the middle of the year with Ferrari, I feel like he'd probably just go home and rest up and recuperate and then be fully recharged for 2021.